All right, so Lilia's banner just came out on global, and the banner itself is not too good. I did a few summons on it. I actually did manage to get a new unit, Easton Mark II or whatever you want to call her. I managed to get her, but I was summoning because I was hoping to get Summer Merlin. I do want Summer Merlin. She's really good. She's really good. But as far as the rest of the units on the banner go, they're not the greatest. I would actually say skip the banner. Lillia herself is solid. I think Lillia is a solid unit. I don't think she's the best unit in the world, but I do think she's actually really good. But the rest of the units on here are just not that crazy. We got Wedding Deanne, which I don't think Wedding Deanne ever was that great. She might have been good when she came out for the first time ever, but her kit is just like it's just not good, because what is this disable ultimate move? Like that's blockade, which blockade can be very good, but only on certain situations, which in this case is not many. Their ult is an AoE ult, same thing as the blue giant Deanne, green giant Deanne, etc. She also has her passive, which increases giant allies damage dealt by 40%. This is good. This passive is very good. The only thing about this is there's only gonna be really Deannes. Until they make better Matronas, Drolls, and introduce giants from Ragnarok itself, this passive is not going to be good, because you can only run one Deanne in PvP. All right, you can only run one Deanne, besides the exception of this week's PvP ungeared rule. You can only run Deanne one unit, so it's like that's not going to be that helpful. So she's not that great. Valenti is terrible. Green Easton, she's mid. I don't think Green Easton is that good. She's okay. Like I said, she's mid. She's just a mid unit. But otherwise, wouldn't give her anything else than that. Christmas Elaine sucks. She just sucks. There's no beating around the bush. She's a horrible unit. I don't know what Netmarble was thinking with this unit at all, with this unit. Because what would have made her at least better with her passive skill is if this was just decreases attack related stats by 12% for each of these debuffs. It wouldn't make her, I don't even think it would make her viable, but it would have made her better, right? Decreasing attack related stats by 12% for each, that would have been really good. Because what the hell's the point of having pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage, but not decreasing attack? It just makes no sense. Just literally makes no sense. She could be run on the back, of course, because she's meant to be used with Fairy King, and her attacks are terrible. Cold Destruction on her, it sounds good in practice, but her damage is horrible. She has this right here, Corrosion, no one cares about. I would say that this right here, though, in AoE release ult, that is actually pretty strong. On a unit that's actually going to be good, this right here is a very good ultimate, because you got to remember, this isn't like, okay, releasing one debuff. This is releasing any debuff, right? Any I guess dot damage debuff, right? Shock, poison, bleed, etc. So on a good unit, right, on an actual good unit, this could actually be very strong. But on Christmas Elaine, it's terrible. She's bad. Blue Ozzo and Hawk, terrible. Not really a good unit at all. Again, don't know what they were thinking with this. Like, they were kind of meant to buff King, but they just don't do it good. I don't understand what Netmarble was thinking when they made these units. I just don't. It's not hard. It's really not hard to make Small Wings King good. Just make another festival unit that goes crazy with debuffs, right? That goes crazy with debuffs and is actually really strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not that difficult to make King good. It's not. But the way that Netmarble is, running, they don't care about debuffs at all, right? They just don't. King necessarily, right? To be fair, Small Wings King doesn't really need debuffs either. He's not like a unit that, oh my god, if he doesn't have debuffs, he sucks. No, he has a release card. That's the only thing about it. And of course, his passive works with debuffs as well. But if they wanted to, they could make another unit that works really good with him, and they can just make it that they increase attack related stats by like 14% up to a maximum of like 5 times. Like, they could make them really good. They could, but they just don't want to. But yeah, what it is, what it is. Summer Roxy, very niche character. I'm not gonna say she's bad, but she is a very niche character, right? She does have the same skill as Green Escanor. She also has this, which disables attack skills. Yeah, attack skills, AOE, disable. Her ult's the same thing as every other Roxy, just, you know, there. But this right here, her passive is good, but you could work around it. Like, you could actually just work around it, and then it just becomes obsolete. It's good, but it's just, you know, you can work around it. But she's a very niche character, very niche. I'm not a big fan of this Hawk and Elizabeth summer version. Not really the biggest fan. I would say they're like terrible. I actually would argue that they are a terrible unit. It's just, not only do they share the same substats as the base Hawk and Elizabeth, their skills are not that great. Their skills are not good at all. This right here is like literally garbage. Look at the damage multiplier on it. It's bad. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. It's really bad. You know, decreasing attack related stats AOE is good. It is good, but within the meta that we have now, I don't really think it matters too much. We'll see though if they age good. I don't think they will, unfortunately, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. But their passive could work on the back as well. You know, for every goddess hero on the battlefield, damage from AOE attacks are decreased by 10%. So that right there is actually clutch, because at max you could get a 40% damage reduction from AOE skills, and you know, Small Wings King, all his skills are AOE. So theoretically, if you wanted to run her in the back with a full blue team or something like that, that would be strong. But I mean, are you really gonna run her in the back? Like, are you really gonna run her in the back? Because if one unit on the front dies on a goddess team, this Elizabeth is not helping you whatsoever. It's just not helping you whatsoever. And then her second part of the passive, I think this is really stupid. I don't know what they were thinking with this. I mean, I get it. You know, it's Hawk and Elizabeth, so, you know, Hawk is unknown and Elizabeth is a goddess, but they easily could have just made this an attack boost for her or something like that. But instead, they decided to make it, you know, decrease its single target attacks by 10% for every unknown race on the battlefield. And then that's where this passive is just, you know, stupid, because you're running Hawk and Elizabeth, which, yes, they are considered, I believe they're considered, yeah, goddess, because Elizabeth, right? They are considered goddess. So again, that part of the passive is kind of just dumb. Like, you could run a hybrid of unknown and goddess, sure, but you're only gonna get what, 20% or something like that if you run a hybrid, maybe 30 with the goddess, because if you run her in the back, you get two unknowns. No, yeah, you're only gonna get 20% for each of them. It's just stupid. It's really dumb that they made her like that. Now Merlin, I think Merlin is actually probably the best unit on this banner. I honestly think she's even better than Lillia, and there's a few reasons why. Okay, Merlin's passive is very good. She disables attack skills just by using 2 skills, and then she also prevents ultimate move gauge from filling for 2 turns if she uses all 3 skills, right? If she fills in all 3 slots with her skills, she is really good. And then she has a Flood single target skill, which you guys already know how strong that can be. And then she has a dissolve card as well. Same thing as Christmas Lillia, right? Same thing as Christmas Lillia. But the difference is that she is going to be, you know, having a lot of utility when she can disable attack skills, and she can also prevent ultimate move gauge from filling up. She also has a really strong AoE ult as well, where she decreases HP related stats of all enemies by 30%, and you know, the attack multiplier is really strong. Whereas Lillia, granted, it's still good, it's not as good as Merlin's at all. She removes debuffs from all enemies, and then she's dealing you know, 350% of attack. This is a, you know, 1 out of 6, of course, but I think Merlin, the way that she can just be built with, you know, unknown teams, she could be run on different various teams, whereas this Lillia, yeah, you can run her with Kyo and you know, an extra unit, but really you want to run her with Kyo and then another catastrophe unit, because the catastrophe unit would benefit from it, unless you don't want to, of course. You don't have to, but that is what her passive is pretty much for, just 7 catastrophe units. And it sucks because The 7 catastrophes are horrible in the game. I don't know why, but besides a select few, they are just not good, and it sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, I would say Merlin is actually the best unit on this banner, like for sure, without a doubt. Green mono, solid unit for sure. She's a solid unit. And then red Easton sucks. Yeah, she sucks. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, if you do build a 7 catastrophes unit, or not unit, team, right? You know, you could go crazy with the damage reduction, because most of the time damage reduction is really big on the 7 catastrophe. So you could even this mono, again, she increases all her stats by 3% if all allies on the battlefield are 7 catastrophe units. But the thing about her is the allies have to be damaged. So again, you do primarily want to run a 7 catastrophe unit, or I keep saying unit, you want to run a 7 catastrophes team based on damage reduction. So there's that. But yeah, as far as that goes, that's the banner. Again, like I said, maybe I'll do one multi. Like, let's do one multi for shits and giggles. I do want Lillia, right? But I want Merlin more. So that's the banner. Again, I think it's overall, I think it's a, you know, it's a pretty bad banner, I'm not gonna lie. Besides Lillia and Merlin, there's not too much else going for you, right? I mean, again, you could say like, yeah, Green Easton, if you pull her, yeah, she's mid, but you're not gonna really use her as much as you think you might. Okay, blue text of death, feels bad, no SSR there. But yeah, this banner, mid, really bad, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I would say save your gems, don't summon at all, right? Just save your gems for the next Holy War Festival, because it's probably going to be Esterosa. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, and yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all later.